guys, welcome back to another video. Right, I thought, I don't know if any of you watch her, but Debbie from Debbie's Designs, is that it? Well, anyway, she made a bowl, but she used a seashell mould, and I thought, all the moulds I've got, I'm going to do one but with flowers. Right, now the first one I did, because I thought I'd better try it out, is this great big thing, and it's far too big, and I did it all in one go so everything fell overnight, so it like damaged all the top. But I thought, well, you know, it's my starting point, I can have it like that, and I'm going to I shall paint it. It's took about 4 days to dry, but I did have to put an inside in as well because that's what she did, so that's what I did. So I thought, right, that was like on a baking bowl, far too big, but now it's finally dried, I shall have that for myself, and then the back, well, you won't notice the back when it's done because, you know, it'll have a little plant or something in it, and I shall paint it. So I thought we'd give it a go again today. I did this earlier because learning from mistakes on that one, you've got to let bits dry. So what I did, now this is the trick that I said, that if you want to already make a load of moulds but you're not ready for using them, damp towel, and these have been here all day because I started this last night, so these are all lovely still. And the moulds that I've used is this one by PRIMA, which is the Fragrant Rose, and I have used a couple of, oh, I can't read what that says anymore, oh, it's the Cherry Blossom, sorry. So I've just used a couple out of there, and I've used a few of their leaves as well. So I thought I'd make some up because there's nothing more boring than watching somebody making the moulds. And as that one's drying, well, it's quite firm now, that is, so we'll leave that one for a bit and we'll start on this one. And just like Debbie, she wrapped her, she used a trinket bowl, I think, but I've got nothing nice and pretty like that, so we're using wax tins. And all she did was cover it in cling film to help when it dries to remove it. So I thought, you know what, I thought it was a cool idea. You can use it for loads and loads of different sorts of moulds, so I thought I'd bring you along. So what I'm going to do is make my base. On this base I used a bigger mould just so it was like one big one, but I've not, I'm out of clay. Now this, I know this isn't going to go too far anyway, but you've got to leave it overnight so I can go and get some more tomorrow and you'll be none the wiser. So what she did was, she didn't put glue obviously onto the cling film, so this is why I did the big one, and then made sure, because on this one I didn't make sure that everything was touching, and then afterwards I got great big holes and it was all dropping to bits as such. So Debbie really piled hers on. It's like, here look, there's nothing there, but you know, that was my first go, so we all have to learn somewhere, don't we? But I do like the front of it, so, but it's nice and sturdy now. But what we were saying, so yeah, she didn't put any glue on the cling film, she just glued where bits were going to attach. So that's all we're doing, and I'm using Mod Podge today because the wood glue, even though it works fantastic on furniture, I didn't think it held up that brilliantly on there. And as you can see, it's left like a brown tinge where it's taken so long to dry. So I thought, well, you know, it's only a pack of clay, so we'll have a go with the Mod Podge instead. So all I'm going to do is just get different roses and just build them up and put glue where they're going to be touching each other. So then it's just a case of doing that all the way round so that you've got them on top. Make sure they're all touching nicely, because you don't want it to drop to bits on you like mine did. But saying that, I mean, once I put the inside in, which I think I'll have to do on these anyway, then it was fine. So who knows? But we like to make a lot of mistakes while we're learning, don't we? So we'll just play today until we get to the point where I've got no clay left, because this is me as prepared as always. So I've got my one in the centre, and that's got no glue on it at all, and then all these have got glue there, glue there, glue there, glue there, if you see what I mean. So they're all touching each other now, and hopefully that'll all be nicely glued together, and it'll glue the bottom one as well. Right, so we can start with a bit of a pattern as such. So now what we want to do is go in between and start filling again. So again, I'll do it like that, and then I shall fold the bottom bit over, because then that'll be the starting of a grip for that one. I don't know, should we put these on all the way around if I've got enough? So again, just I've glued half of it. I don't think it matters too much if it touches the glue. It was a bit awkward to get it out, but I got my heat gun on it and melted it. But it's only your normal kitchen wrap, you know, your plasticky kitchen film, whatever you call it. So that's all I've used. So for a bit it's going to be a case of just layering and layering and layering, and then putting finished ones on the outside as such. Actually, I want to take that one off there, and then we'll have it going round in alternate. So we'll have another rose now, just in case you do see it. And like I say, don't forget to just bend over your sides, even though it's got no glue on. It's then starting to form your base for the next bit. And then another rose there. And then you just start again. So it's like on here, you've got two sides to add your glue on plus the bottom one. So if you bring it up so it's folded over enough, and then all you have to do is bend it and just slowly work. A couple of these have started to dry out a little bit. They obviously weren't quite under the cover. And just hold it for a second, you know, while you're forming it. I'll use big roses on these two bits here because they're quite big, so. And then you can just add a smaller rose on that one. I mean, you can use which of the moulds you liked. I used just about all my moulds on the big one. But I thought with these ones going to be smaller, I wanted it, well, you know, not the same, but And I would recommend that you do it in bits and bobs because they do start to fall, obviously, with the weight. So I'm just going to go around here on this one, and then we'll leave this one to dry till tomorrow, and I'll add a bit more on that one because I did that last night. But it must be with it being on with the cling film because they're still quite wet. So and obviously remember which way it's going to be sat up. So are you bothered about which way your bits and bobs hang? I don't know what to pop in. Okay, so that's the base. So all that is all touching at least 2 layers of glue now, and I'm going to leave this to dry because I don't want, like I say, I had to keep messing with that because the weight got so heavy it just all kept dropping to bits. So we'll leave that one till tomorrow, till it's dried off more, and we'll add a bit more onto this. So this should take the weight of it a lot better now. Well, I'm hoping it will anyway. Make sure you're touching as many sides as you can. Like I say, I left quite big holes in mine, and well, obviously it really showed through when I removed the cling film and everything. So if you're layering on top of each other as well, it's adding stability. So hopefully, I mean, they're not the sort of thing that you're going to be able to chuck your fruit in, but I think with a little plant or something in, I think it'll look really pretty. And it's different. No one else will have one the same, will they? So and like I say, you can just sit and make up a lot of your moulds as long as you put a damp cloth on them. They'll be perfectly fine till the next day. Sometimes mine go a little bit brown looking. I don't know what that is. It must be something to do with the clay. But I mean, you're going to paint them anyway, aren't you? So I did a lot of the prettier ones as well, but I thought if the majority of it is done with the bulk of the roses, then I can add the pretties on in a bit like with that one. Look, you see, you can add a bit of a prettier one on once you've got the strength of the roses built up. Just lift that one up, slip that underneath it, and then put the more decorative one back on the top. But do keep checking them, because if, like I say, if you're impatient like me, you may, when you don't check them until the morning, you may come back and they're all on your table. But I'm just trying the Mod Podge this time, just to see if it holds any better. I forget about using this. So how's everybody doing? Are we all okay? I had some lovely feedback from the last video, thank you. Some not quite so lovely, but you know, goes with the territory, I suppose. You can't please everybody, can you? There, so that's got another layer. And like I say, the only problem with this is that obviously it takes a long time to do. But I might add a few of the pretties on now. I mean, if you just wanted a little trinket pot, you can stop at, well, just about here, can't you? Finish it off and go round one more, and then you're done. Which again, well, it'd look really nice, doesn't it? So it's all entirely up to you what you do. Right, I'll give that 10 minutes. Oh, if I can without pulling them off. I'll add a couple more on here. I might not do this one that deep. So it might just be a case of popping like little pretties on, if you know what I mean. I did quite a few of the little roses as well from the mould, because they're good for filling in if you've got little gaps anywhere as well. I think these would be quite nice little gifts as well for Christmas, with the pretty little planting. I mean, no one else will have thought of it, will they? Well, hopefully not anyway. So if you're wanting something a little bit different and you like to give things that are handmade, I think this is a lovely idea, isn't you? I think any lady would be quite happy to receive it. Like I say, if you pop a little plant in or something as well, it doesn't have to be a real plant, does it? It can be a fake plant. If you're like me, you're not that good at... I'm alright in the garden, just not in the house. I don't tend to keep them alive very long. I forget that they need looking after. And don't forget, just keep going round and gently squeezing. Oh, you know me, it's terrible. Know when to stop. You just keep seeing like an extra little bit and another little bit and... Right, let's have a quick look. If we go around, I've kind of finished off with different leaves. So that could be left just like that. You'll have all your detail all on the edges, and you can make a little bowl once it's all nice and dry for it to go in, and then, like I say, decorate how you want. But this is getting a bit precarious, so I'm not going to do any more because I don't fancy having to stick it all back on again. So you can have a nice little shallow one like that you can give us like a trinket bowl or whatever. And then this one is just getting a little bit more on. And I won't come all the way down, I don't think, but I may just come to there. But I think I shall give it a couple of hours before popping any more on. Like I say, just give it all chance to... Alright, so I'll see you back later. It looks like I'm going to have to put my cloth back over these ones again, doesn't it? And I'll come back later and we'll carry on. Alright, take care guys. Right then, we've just filmed adding a little bit more on, because obviously it's the day after. So we've just gone round and just added a few more on, and I think I like that at that, with that one. I don't like how, because these are all dry, it wouldn't manoeuvre very well, and they didn't want to stick very well either. So what I said about leaving it overnight to dry and then adding more, scrap that one. I didn't like it. I mean, you might, but I don't. I'd rather keep taping it up so that they don't move, because they just don't bond well together once these ones have gone hard. But I've just added a few more just to make it even all the way round. And we've just been filming that, and then I pressed delete instead of save. So but I mean, you know what I've done because you watched the other bits. But I think I'm happy with them at that size. So now we will let it all dry, and then we'll take them off of here probably tomorrow and see how firm it all is, and then make the insert for it. But yeah, I'm really annoyed. I keep pressing delete instead of save. I mean, they're on opposite ends, so how I keep doing it I don't know, but I do. But all this is dried lovely. And that one. But yeah, I'm not, like I say, I don't like, I mean, these aren't hard. They are harder than what they would be because it's been in here all day and it's afternoon, and I forgot to come out and re-water them. But I mean, they still bend and move and everything, so they have dried out a little bit. But with these being so hard, nothing wanted, well, obviously it don't want to move or give way. And I like to tuck bits behind other bits for extra security, but never mind, it's another lesson learned. Alright, so again we'll come back when these are dry, and then we'll have a go at getting them off of here and what have you. Alright, so see you again shortly. Right then, I think these have dried enough. I actually had a go at demoulding this one off camera just to see how hard it'd be, and it didn't want to come out, I can tell you that. Now Debbie never said how she got off her cling film, but mine doesn't want to come off. And where it does want to come off, it wants to pull a flower off with it. So I think it's going to be a case of chopping it down to where you can't see it and then leaving it on. I tried my heat gun and it doesn't seem to want to melt it too much. You know, like with some wraps it'll melt it. And I have noticed that the glue's all wet on the bottom still as well, which I said last time, I says it takes days and days to dry. But now we've removed the cling film, or nearly removed the cling film, this will all dry out lovely. But I bet this has been 3 days. 2 or 3 times I've gone to re-record it and then I've ended up having to do something else. So, but as you can see, that's it. So you could have a nice little candle in there, or whatever you wanted really. Now I didn't know whether, would you bother just rolling some out and putting it in so it's flat, or would you make some more moulds up? Mind you, now if you make more moulds up, you'll be restricted on what you can put in, won't you? I was going to say make some more moulds up so it looks pretty inside, but then if you have a candle and stuff in, it might yeah. So that's it. It's not making the hollow noise yet, so it is still slightly wet, but that's that one. And all I did was I just kept tweaking it a little bit. Try not to press on too much because it is only clay. You don't want it to break. Yeah, that's coming off, I can feel it. So again, if we remove what we can, so that then we can look at it properly. Like I say, just try and get off as much as you can, because obviously it's a moisture barrier, isn't it? So there, that's most of it. I'll just take off these little bits. Take the time to trim up round your edges, because obviously that's now what will be seen. So try and get everything off there. Lovely. So that's that one, a little bit higher. And again, this has got the, because I made this one beforehand, that one is dry all the way through. So it's a slightly different noise. And as you can still see the glues a bit. It's not wet, it's just tacky still, I suppose. Right. So I really quite like these. I think they'd be really pretty with like one of the thick candles in. And I don't think I've got any, so I won't even be able to... I didn't think of that. I should have picked a couple up, shouldn't I? So we can show you. Right, and all I'm doing is taking a pack of clay and opening it. Now that big one that I did took a full pack for the inside. Now this shouldn't take anywhere near as much as what that one took. So I've took a quarter for now, so I'm just gonna away. And me, ever the professional rolling pin, just roll it out. Now if you've got a rolling pin that you can use for this, use a rolling pin, but I've only got the one that I bake with, and I bake with it, so I ain't using that. It could do with a bit of, yeah, look, it's like we're baking now, isn't it? Just to stop it from sticking so much. It didn't stick at all with that big one, so I don't know why this one is. Then obviously you've got to make it so big enough so that it can go inside your bowl, and then you just work it round till it's all sat in there nicely. Trying to be a bit gentler this time, because all you could see in mine is my nails where I was tapping it down, and that's all you're seeing now, which isn't a good look, is it, really? You see, so all you want to do is, hopefully minus the nail marks, is push it in, and then just rip it off where your flowers are. Just do it roughly now, and then you can come back and do it nicer. And this is just, we just like, one, to make it look prettier, and two, to reinforce it, so it's got two layers, so hopefully it won't break. And like I say, that one's rather solid now, so I don't think that one will. Well, unless it gets dropped. Right, so we've gone round roughly. So then all you want to do is just take your time and go in between and just fix it to the wall and squish out any bits you don't want. Right, I have just noticed I've got a leaf that's it's a little bit soft there, so I'm just going to get my glue and just put some more glue on. We can't really do anything with it until the inside's dry again anyway. So, get one of the little rubbishy. And just peel it back. And this will help it stick to the edges. And you can do it all the way around if you like. Thank you. Thank you very much. Lovely cup of tea made me on this horrible windy day. And then if you like as well, you can always just lightly, you know, because as we know Mod Podge dries clear, so then if there is any little gaps or anything, you know, anywhere, more glue always helps. And don't forget we've not painted it yet, so okay. And then I don't know, I can get rid of me. I get rid of one nail hole and put another one in. And just try and smooth your inside out. Or not, it's up to you, you know, if it's for yourself, you might like it that you can see you've done it. I'm just trying to use the flat of my finger. This is my shortest nail at present, so it broke the other day. And then, again, we'll just give that a couple of days to dry, and then we can come back and decorate it. So we're just going to do this one as well. So I need a little bit more clay. So I think roughly these two here are going to take up maybe half a pack of the small pack of clay, which is, when I can find it, why can't I find it? I think it's 250 grams, isn't it? 500 grams, sorry. These are only the little ones. So we'll just sprinkle, because it did stick, didn't it? So we don't want it sticking. Just like you're baking a cake. Yeah, not sticking already. Mind you, my cakes don't come out much better, so. And keep it as circular as you can, and then you've got less waste. And just keep flicking it and turning it and flicking it and turning it. Do you like me professional way that I speak and say all these things very well? Hopefully this will fit. So then you just get your other one again, pop it over, and then little by little just squidge it on down. That's another professional term there. The squidge is important. If you've got folds, it's like that, it just looks how you're supposed to do anything with it. So I'm just going to trim it off on the big fold, if I can get my knife in, and then where it folds over, we're not having great big creases, are we? So I will show you in a minute. It's very awkward to try and show you at present. see what I mean? I cut the hole, I trimmed it because obviously it all folds over, it's too big for the gap. And I've got a little bit missing down there though. And then if you trim it and squash it, you've got more room. I suppose a pair of scissors would be better for this actually. Again, you slice it down. And then it just makes well, it's so much easier, isn't it? And if you've got any little gaps where you've made, you know, it's clay, just squash it all in until it fits properly. So then all you want to do is just go round and push it in and scrape out the bits that are hanging over that you don't want. I've just felt a little bit somewhere, so something feels a little loose. So again, all I'll do is pop a bit of the glue on. It's this leaf here, look. So, if we peel it back, because now we've got another barrier, we've got extra, it'll give it extra strength as well. Just leave that to dry again, so don't be too rough with that little bit. I'm feeling a little bit loose here as well. And then just pop it back, and obviously it's gone from having one flimsy layer to now having two. Alright, so that's it, and then just try and, you know, flatten your marks out a little bit that you've made. I can't think what you could use. Because if you use like a pen or something, it's going to give its own little. Try this end, flat end. That probably made it worse, I don't know. But you can spend as long as you like to perfect yours. As we know, it takes quite a while before it starts going hard, so. Alright, so then you've got two that's, you can either have it as a little trinket dish, like I say, or pop a candle in. And all I used was a paint can and a wax tin. So again, we're going to have to leave that to dry, but we can. I have had a clean up as well today, guys. You notice it's looking a little bit tidier on here. I've cleaned my windows, I've got the paint off the windows and everything, apart from the window ledge there. I don't know what I'm going to use for that one, but now, like I say, it's me who's going to use this, so it doesn't matter that it's all slightly uneven. I quite like it. I'm going to get a plant for the front, and the back you'll never see. So again, it don't matter, and it's only me. So I'll just get my paint. So I think I'm going to have it white. Am I going to have it white, do you think? Oh. Yeah, I think it's going to have to be white, isn't it? We'll just use... Well, it's actually called pebble stone, so we'll use that instead, I think. You're still watching me, aren't you? Just check, yes. So, again, I'll just... And obviously you can paint it whatever colour you like. I'm going to stick with white because it's safer. And the last ones I did in colour, I ended up redoing in white anyway, so I might as well just stick with the white, hadn't I? And like I say, all this curled over here because I put it all on in one go, but not only that, it's huge. So, I mean, it's a mixing bowl that I used. So, the weight of it was just too much. So, I think if I did another big one like this, well, I don't know what I'd do because I didn't like applying those on dry the next day. So, I think what I'd have to do is, she taped, Debbie taped all hers up and wrapped it with string and stuff just to keep it, and that would probably give it more of a circular shape as well. Keep its shape a bit better as well. But we learn from his mistakes, and like I say, I'm going to have this one, so it's not going to waste. Just a good excuse to buy another plant, so that should go down well with the hubby. And I think I will put, because obviously this might mark your side wherever you put it because it's clay, so I will pop some little feet on, just so it doesn't, you know, ruin your antique that you place your little homemade bowl on. I'm going to give it a coat inside as well. Make sure you get all your edges because that will be seen. So I've given it all a coat, so we'll just leave all that to dry, and then we'll come back and add some bits to it. Alright, so we'll see you when it's dry, okay? Right then. Oh. I came in last night and because it's all nice and dry, so I gave it all a paint so I don't have to come on and paint it and then go off again. And all I did was just paint it white, just plain white. Right, so I've got my wax. Oh dear, not looking too brilliant. That's the problem of working in a conservatory. Your wax gets absolutely battered. Does anyone know if it breaks down or anything? I've never been told whether it breaks down or not actually. You know, we're constantly like melting and then reforming. And this is all dried nice and hard now. Now don't get me wrong, if you dropped it on the floor it might drop to bits. Well, not drop to bits, but you would have some break off, I'd have thought. But for decoration, I'm just giving it a light coat because I think I'll do one. I've got some of the gold gilding wax out. I don't know whether to do it one gold and one with black wax. I'll do underneath after because I've still got to apply the feet so it doesn't damage somebody's bits and bobs. But I've got me P-Blow gold gilding wax in Empire Gold. So I didn't know whether to do one with gold and one with black wax. What do we think? I'm not doing it with my fingers, I'll get a little dinky brush. And which one should I do with gold? I might do this one with gold. Yeah. So just apply it and then wipe it back like you do with everything else that we use. If you use a little brush, I mean use whatever you like, use your finger. If you use a little brush so you can get into all the little nooks and crannies. Don't forget you can apply as much or as little as you want. Keep adding to, you haven't got to rub it off at all if you don't want to, you can have it all. A pretty shiny gold which looks quite nice. Right, so that one's gone round with the gold. So what I'm just going to do is hold it in here and just go around it and give it a light buff off. So that's that one. If I decide to sell them, I shall probably paint inside with just a gold paint. How pretty is that though? It really brings out, so like that's it before obviously, and then you can see every little flower and leaf. So that's that one in the gold. So I'll just pop that there. I'll just grab the black wax, I didn't get it out. And this is just the Annie Sloan black wax that I'm using. I'll just wipe my brush off. And then we'll... Oh, I did wax this. Oh crikey, I thought for a minute then I'd not waxed it. That'd have been a bit awkward, wouldn't it, trying to get this out. Helena. Thank you to, thank you to all the new subscribers I've got the last few days. My name's Cheryl. My little dog's called Eleanor. You will see her quite a lot because she's always out here with me. And we do mostly furniture, but now and again I like to stray away and do something slightly different, you know, like this. But it is mostly furniture. But to all the family out there who already know us, Eleanor likes to pick up bad habits, like licking her feet till they get infected and, you know, little things like that. So today's her first day without a collar on. She didn't have it on last night. And I checked her leg this morning and I don't think she'd been at it. But I keep catching her having a sneaky lick. This dog is unreal. She's a dachshund. She doesn't believe in any form of exercise whatsoever. A lead, she wouldn't know what a lead was if you hung it in front of her. She doesn't do walking. She prefers to be carried if she can. I think she thinks that she was some sort of princess or something in her former life. And she likes to do not a great deal actually. She does like her toys and she likes to lick her bloody legs. They're her favourite things. Thank you for subscribing anyway. I do hope that you stick around. It was nice to see it jump up quite a bit these last few days. So please pop down and say hello. I do like to chat in the box. And I really do appreciate all of you for keep coming back. And then that's just giving this one a light wipe over. Can we see? We can see, can't we? Yeah. So this one's just a light wipe over. I might get some more of that out there actually. But like I say, you can have in as much or as little as you want. It's entirely up to you. You can do a paint wash on it, you can do anything at all. There's all these pigments and everything that you can get nowadays. So, which do we think's his favourite? Not quite sure. I do like them both. Right, I went and got some candles last night. Now that one fits in there beautifully. Absolutely made for it. And this one, like as we know, I used a slightly different can. So if you do want to, I mean, you could come up a lot higher with this one, or you could stay nice and low. But if you did want it as a candle one, I'd definitely use your wax tin, because this is a large, I mean, I'm not a candle person, so oh, it doesn't actually say how big it is, does it? That's not very good, is it? Let's get my measurer. Like I say, that one fits in there beautifully. Oh, it's a 10 by 15. So it's quite a big one. Yeah, it's 10 centimetres wide. And like I say, it fits in that candle one absolutely perfect. It was made for it. But that one, it was a paint can, so it wasn't quite as wide. And when you look, I think that looks nice at that level. But I think if you're going to have it taller, I do think it's got to come up more. But it hasn't got to be used for that. You can use it as like a little trinket box. You can pop a plant in. I haven't got a plant. I'm not really a plant person either. I haven't really got a plant that would fit in. Mine are all like plastic plants for decoration. But you kind of get the idea. So what do we think? Do we like it? Is, I've got to admit, it's a hell of a lot of faffing about, because you've got to do it, let it dry, then put your inside in and then let that dry. I mean, it's been a good week of messing about, but if you don't mind messing about, I think that, like I said, I'll paint underneath and I shall paint inside and pop just some little feet on, so if you have it on some, I mean, that is actually really smooth, but I wouldn't want it to damage somebody's, you know, sideboard or whatever. But I think that is really, really cool. That's my favourite. I should have come up a lot higher with that one. And then if you did pop a plant in it, it'd be a plant pot, wouldn't it? So it'd hide the actual plant. Or just get the right size candle to fit it. Like I say, I just went and grabbed these because I'm not really a candly person. But I thought, when I popped that in first, I thought, yes, got it right for a change. And then I tried that one, I thought, oh, right, typical. But I think that is really, really pretty. And you could have a go at doing it for Christmas. You could give that and a candle for somebody for a present. Or you could just chuck it in the bin. If that's what you want to do. But anyway, I hope you liked it. And if you did, please like, subscribe and comment in the box below. And again, thank you to all my new subscribers. Comment below and we'll have a chat in the comments box. And I'll see you in the next one. Alright guys, take care. Bye.